And I totally agree with you. I agree that these data are quite critical to not just, identifying persons impacted or persons affected, indirectly impacted, and communities involved as well. But it would also help in planning. And, I referenced the issue of planning earlier because of something you said, something I found quite profound. When you said, look, your leadership style will be one that is maybe, pardon me, but maybe I'll use the word aggressive here. Aggressive in the sense that it wants to push for action. Aggressive for action. So that's why I brought up the issue, an issue you also brought up, issue of access, for instance. And then I would like to know, and taking you back now to what you said earlier, in terms of implementation, because we've seen complaints in the past. This is a law that has been in existence since 2018. And as you and I sit here, we know that if you go to Wuse Park or you go to Area 11 Junction now, and someone on wheelchair like yourself now, if you pardon me again, wants to enter like a public transport now, it will be difficult for such a person. And that's because the facilities are not there, not at the bus stops, not provided by the buses, and that makes it, and that's just accessing transportation alone. You need to assess a building. Well, fortunately, a building like the NTA would have ramps and all of that, but how many public structures do have them? And this is coming more than 5 years after this law is in place. So in terms of, this is part of the advocacy, I dare admit. In terms of action like you want to embark on, give us a hint of the kind of action that you intend to pursue now. Do you perhaps want to start prosecuting defaulters? Do you want to directly start suing them as a commission, or exactly how do you intend to go about that?
Yeah, it's a very, very huge problem. I'm happy with your example of getting into a taxi or a bus at a Wuse market or in any of our motor parks around the country. Let me tell you, when I was in school, I was based in Jos, and I was school in Akwanga. I couldn't get a taxi that would carry my tricycle wheelchair. So they say, oh, okay, you have to pay for the whole back seat, and we'll collapse the seat to put your wheelchair. And I said, wow, if I pay for the back seat before I pay for my own seat, how much money do I have
left?
Without, so the cost, the burden of living with disability is overwhelming. And I'm so thankful to God that this bill came. I thought that we will come, dangling the stick. But people have said, oh no, you need to adopt both the carrot and the stick approach.
Okay.
And so, and that is why I told you that all of us are involved. If we adopt the approach that it is a we versus them affair, then it means the rest of the world doesn't care what happened to us. But if we can get to convince Nigerians that if you do it for this person, you are directly doing it to yourself, because nobody knows. I wasn't born in a wheelchair, for instance. I was walking. It was one incident leading to another that brought me down to the wheelchair, and nobody knows until the end comes for each and every soul. Anyway, so we will adopt all the approaches, the carrot stick, the stick, and the law has made the provisions.
Yeah.
There are jail penalties.
Yes, and fines and penalties.
There are fines, and all the approaches will be done. But the greatest message and the approach will be to appeal to Nigerians, to see the necessity to get this done.